comes with several challenges. And that is why Patriotic Muslim Front, together with Lead Gate Foundation, is doing to ensure that this recurring debt accumulation, as they call it, legacy debts, from 96 coming. The reason is this, that you are asked to take certain responsibilities as government, and government would also appoint some members to represent the Muslim Ummah, and they would have to take certain initiatives. And you and I know that anytime you want to organize Hajj, you would need foreign currency to organize Hajj. And then every year you would have to go for what we call Hajj conference. And when you go for Hajj conference, you are not going to listen to only what rules and regulations of the country shall be, but also to take certain initiatives of securing transport, securing airlines, securing accommodations, and so many of them. So in the past, what Patriotic Muslim learned is that that's the committee at the time, would have to go for a loan to be able to secure some of this before the pilgrims, the prospective pilgrims, will come in with some amount of money. Now, if they go, for example, to get, say, 6,000 quota, and that's always be the case, that they'll give you a quota that you would bring. So if you go in to organize accommodation for 6,000 people, accommodation for 6,000, flight for 6,000, transportation for 6,000, and then we have a place called Mina for other 6,000, and all of this will cost money. So at the end of the day, if you are not able to meet the 6,000, and you have already gone to incur certain services to be able to recoup and pay, then it becomes a problem. And that is where government comes in. That's one aspect of it. Again, if you read through, you will see that Patriotic Muslim Front is also telling government the role of government is to find a conducive environment for all pilgrims, be that Muslims or Christians, to be able to embark on that spiritual journey, which is that you and I know when it comes to monetary policy, you and I are helpless. And so government would come in to give us some level of subsidy in the area of getting us a favorable exchange rate that would not burden the pilgrims. And so if you are not able to get this, it's another factor that accumulates too. Let me just conclude by giving you this current, this past administration. Patriotic Muslim Front took the ex-Wild administration on by leaving us a debt. And we wanted to find out what was the cause. And just as I said, this was the cause. That if you recall, people did not go through the normal route because the CD to dollar exchange rate brought up the fees to somewhere 75,000, leading to a lot of people using the back door. And at the time, the quota was 6,500. So they had already gone to procure certain services for 6,500, only to airlifted only somewhere 2,500. So that amount of money is the one that is hanging on the neck of government. And that is why Patriotic Muslim Front is proposing that we get an independent commission so that all of these issues would not be a recurring factor. That every year, every administration, there is a legacy debt, then other ones would come, or the new board will come to inherit. So we are making these proposals with the background of what we have elaborated on the press statement. Yes, thank you.
Ibrahim Alasan, MSTV. I thought that last year the pilgrims paid 7,000 thereabout, 75,000.
75,000.
And this year it has come down. I wanted to hear a commendation from the government for the price coming down. I mean, 130,000, yeah? 13,000, yeah.
We have commended government in our subsequent, in the earlier statements.
Yeah.
We commended government for bringing down that amount.
Yeah.
But also, we don't want to go into it deeply because our investigation will prevail later that even when you are reducing it, it must come with value.
Okay.
Not only the face value of 13,000 reduction, but also accompanying the facilities that would be favorable to the pilgrims. Otherwise, if, for example, you are reducing it, say, by 13,000 and increasing my burden when I get to Saudi, it doesn't make sense. For example, where we are told that when you get there, the accommodation that was somewhere 100 meters to the haram is now going to be about 500 meters. Is there value for money? Because you will not be able to walk. You would have to take transport. So when you look at this, even though we have commended government for reducing it, but we'll again come out to make it public that whether that reduction will reflect in the real value of what it stands for. But nonetheless, we have congratulated ourselves as Patriotic Muslim Front for pursuing this reduction. And it has come to pass. We commend government for that. Thank you.
And again, last year, the private agents individually were able to airlift people by paying, I think, 350 something 50% of the official government fee.
So that is where I was coming to.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that if you are paying 50,000, look at the services that it comes with.
Yeah.
Yes, you have succeeded in getting to Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj. One, in the first place, did you have the permit to perform Hajj? No. Two, do you have the same accommodation that people who have gone through government hands? No. Were you able to perform Hajj freely? No. So it is not just about going to Hajj. It is about performing Hajj at ease without hiding to do, perform your rituals as you so desire. So it is incumbent on all of us Muslims to do the right thing by coming through government. Let me tell you for a fact that over 15 people died as a result of heat, simply because they decided to use the back door. Only one person who followed the Hajj board died naturally, not even because of staffing of the heat. And so it is imperative for us to make this clear that even though you will pay lesser, but the facilities that you will enjoy over there will never be the same. So let's make that clear.
Will you support a privatization of the Hajj?
We have proposed that we need an independent commission. That is what we said. That would be manned by civil society, civil organizations, and the people and government for that matter. So that every year, for example, when you are a government employee, you are subjected to what? Public Accounts Committee. So that they will come and investigate you, they will come and audit you. But here's the case. Because as a country, we do everything, we politicize everything, you are not able to hold our leaders accountable. And that is why Patriotic Muslim Front is picking up this, so that we will expose the wrongdoing, we will hold our leaders accountable, and we will make sure that the right thing is done. Thank you.
Sir, we have less than some weeks for this year's Hajj.
Correction, we have more than.
I'm not saying, I didn't mention.
We have months, not weeks. We are not there yet.
So weeks can be 20 weeks.
Okay.
That's why I use weeks.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes. You are calling for establishment of independent Hajj commission and Hajj task force. Are you calling for this one for this year, or you are proposing that subsequent years this one should be?
This is a general proposal that even though we don't have a board, we don't have a committee. His Excellency, the President has just named 5-member task force. So it means that there is that room for some formations and some recommendations to be accepted. And that is why Patriotic Muslim Front, together with the Elite Foundation, is proposing that instead of having a task force, instead of having issues year in, year out, why don't we have an independent commission so that it will be manned by civil servants for that matter? So it is not for this year, it is not for yesterday, but it is for now.